Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV for round number 2 of the Plumwild podcast Super Late Models presented by Northwest Racing Association. Tonight, we invade Lanier National Speedway at 3/8 of a mile racetrack as we get ready for the second round. Qualifying is underway and something a little bit different. Well, we can see two different cars on the racetrack down the bottom right. I believe we're looking at Andrew Bowman in the 44 car. And right now is Jesse Antikin, last week's feature winner on the racing surface. We'll see what Jesse Antikin can do in the number 1 machine, the Hunt Front entry. As again, we continue to watch these drivers as the time's starting to come through. A field of about nearly 60 drivers. In fact, I think it's like 52 or 53 drivers signed into the pit area for tonight. There's Dylan Wilson down to the bottom right of your screen. And then, of course, you can see Caleb Durgan there just on the top left. And again, we see these drivers starting to take lap times as there is Christopher Joy in car number 32. Dylan Wilson, we'll see where he can go as right now Dylan Wilson lays down a time, not even sure where he is. There he is, 7th quick with a 13.349. Tristan Sykes, Tyler Clement left on the racetrack right now. Bottom right is going to be the 23 car. That's Chase Barbara. He sits 19th quick. Tyler Clement will be the 49th car. And we've got 51 drivers signed into the pit area for tonight. Here for the Plumwild podcast Super Late Models round number 2. Presented by Northwest Racing Association. Looks like Chase Barbara's going to finish that one up as we look there as Tyler Clement in the 97 machine goes 25th quick there with a 13.457 and 13.457. These drivers get 3 laps. And the fastest qualifier gets to choose whether we invert for the heat races, which will be 3. And I can tell you right now that Dylan Yeager has already opted to not go with the inversion. So 51 cars signed in, 49 of those cars have just taken a lap time as we get set for what is going to be heat race number 1 here at Lanier National Speedway. Let's take a look at your starting lineup and it'll look like this. Dylan Yeager to the pole position in car number 48. Connor New lines up the 10 machine from position number 2. From position number 3, it'll be the 33 car of Caleb Durgan from his outside. From 4, Tristan Laurisua in the 92 from position number 4. Position number 5 with the 97 of Tyler Clement. He'll start on the inside of the 3rd row to the outside. A substitute for tonight, Colin Bokus lines up the 39 from position number 6. 4th row inside outside the 99 of Tristan Sykes will start position number 7. The 747 of Tyson Banks lines up at a position number 8. And the 9th and final starter, Aaron McGee in car number 77, a substitute for tonight, will start from position number 9. As 9 cars, heat race number 1 of what will be a total of 6 heat races on the program, 3 B mains. So the heat races at 10 laps in distance will take the top 3. And the B mains will be 15 laps. And we should be taking the top 2 to lock in a 24-car field. Warm-up session will be had after the B mains. And then, of course, our 50-lap feature event. We are ready to go racing. Wonder Green. So, again, we take a look. And we've got something a little cool to show you here again. We'll show you a number of different angles as they work down into turn number 3. Off for corner number 4, your Plumwild cast. Super late model. Heat race number 1 is underway. It'll be Dylan Yeager to lead the field. You get a real good look of what's going on behind him. Jaeger will lead the opening lap. Second to be go to Connor New. Tristan Lodasua back there in the third position. Fourth is Colin Bokus. Caleb Durgan rounds out the top 5. Tyler Clement trying to come through the field. Durgan to the inside right now. Bokus goes to the outside as they work off for turn number 2, and Bokus has got 4 spot. Remember, it's only the top 3 that are going to make it directly into the feature event. Everybody else will go and find themselves racing in one of 3 B mains. At 97 of Tyler Clement tried the inside on Tristan Sykes, but just almost catching the inside wall. Dylan Yeager, Connor New, Tristan Lodasua, 1, 2 and 3 as they work down up for turn number 4. Oh. Turn 2, lap 5 is about to be complete here by Dylan Yeager, so we're halfway home officially in the opening heat race of the night. And it's still Yeager from New. Lodasua, your top 3. Bokus and Durgan again going at it. Bokus has got the advantage on the outside of the racetrack. I dare say we might see a track reset before the A main and after the B mains. This track is already starting just to move up the racetrack, and I dare say come by the end of the heat races we might be all back down to the inside of the racetrack. So it's going to make it for those drivers in that B main. Lodasua trying to put the move there on. Connor New down into 1 and 2, trying to fight for a better starting spot in tonight's main event. He's got to be careful, makes a few more of those mistakes in the final 2 laps, and Tristan Lodasua might just be finding himself headed to a B main because Colin Bokus, the sub, he's back there in position number 4, so he's on the outside. He's outside of a transfer position. New got into the concrete wall. Lodasua now goes back down to the inside, down into turn number 1. They'll slide job from Lodasua. New back to the inside. They'll race down the back straightaway into corner number 3. Yeager off for turn number 4. He will win heat race number 1. Second will go to Connor New. Tristan Lodasua home in third spot. We'll take a look at heat race number 1 results on your screen right now. The Plumwild podcast opening heat race of the night. Dylan Yeager, Connor New and Tristan Lodasua. That's the top 3 that are going to book their tickets to the main event here tonight. Everybody else fourth on back. Well, we see him going to a B main as heat race number 2 lines up on the racetrack. Starting on pole position in caliber 55, it's Cruz Cordell. Peyton Burton lines up the 14 machine from position number 2. From 3, it's the 2 car of Chance Carr. From 4, it's Damien Kiefer. From position number 5, it's Thomas Vickers in car 23. Robert Overstreet, the 46, lines up at a position number 6. Ashton Farr will line up at a position number 7. Connor Doherty lines up the 17 from 8. And the 9th and final start will be Colton Zimmer in car number 20. So Cruz Cordell getting ready to lead us to the green flag. Into 3, off for 4. We're back underway. Heat race number 2 is well and truly upon us right now. Chance Carr to the inside of Peyton Burton down into 1 and 2. But it's going to be Peyton Burton trying to run down your race leader of Cruz Cordell in the 55. Meanwhile, Damien Kiefer going to put the move there on Chance Carr. Chance Carr going to wheel it back down to the inside, down into turn number 1. Kiefer done well to somewhat protect the move there as Thomas Vickers in car 23. Now going to make it a 3-way battle for the final transfer spot. At the line, give it to Damien Kiefer. Carr in 4th position, then Vickers rounding out the top 5. Then you go back to Ashton Farr, Overstreet, Zimmer and Doherty for the drivers 6, 7, 8 and 9th position. Cruz Cordell leads Peyton Burton. Carr slides up right across the nose of the 23 car. 1 car upside down, that is Austin Carr. And we'll go yellow, Thomas Vickers as well. Vickers involved in that one. I think that all came off the back of Austin. Sorry. Not Ashton. No, it was Chance Carr. That's Ashton Farr right there in the 51 machine. So it was Carr who slid up right across on the nose of the 23 car. Vickers and Farr was there as well. But that's just quickly as it happened, just like that. So, regarding the invert, So there was a change to the format. So the fastest qualifier gets to choose whether they invert the field. Hang on, hold on, got to sneeze. All right, we're back. So, fastest qualifier gets to choose whether they invert the 3 or 4 positions in the heat races. If they do, they will take out the prize of $10. However, if they choose not to invert the field, the prize will double next week. So next week, fastest qualifier, $20 if they invert it. If not, well, the prize will just keep going up and up and up until somebody has the big cojones and the grapefruits to invert the field. And I dare say we might even see it next week. We're back underway here for what is now lap number 5, Kiefer and Burton. As now here comes Colton Zimmerdow trying to make it into a transfer position. He started position number 9. Raced his way from the back to the front last night in World of Thunder competition, but right now here in tonight's Northwest Racing Association Plumwild Podcast Super Late Model Heat Race number 2 here at Lanier. He's gone from 9th to position number 4, so he's only 1 spot out at the minute. He'll have somewhat of a decent starting spot in the B main later on tonight. It should put him on pole of the second B main. Kiefer just doing enough, just holding Zimmer at bay. Meanwhile, Burton is going to hold Kiefer. Back there to position number 3, Burton in the runner-up position right now. And then number 14 car as they work up for turn number 4. Your race leader gets the white flag. 1 lap left to run here for Cruz Cordell. In the 55 machine. Burton to the low side. Kiefer to the top side into 1 and 2. Who will it be? Kiefer's got the run down the back straight away. Burton going to protect as they work off for corner number 4. Cruz Cordell victorious. And here comes Burton and Kiefer and Burton. Burton just holds on. Peyton Burton will hold on to a transfer position. He will come home in second spot at the line. Take a look at your official results coming up. Cruz Cordell gets the win. Peyton Burton over Damien Kiefer, top 3, locking themselves into the 50-lap main event. Everybody else fourth on back. Well, off to the B main, you guys go. Heat number 3 lining up like this, and it's the 82 car of Desmond Busby to the pole position. And a former teammate, the 80 car of Dylan Wilson for D1RT Racing, lines up to the outside of the front row from position number 2. Dylan Hauser in car number 2 will line up from position number 3. Trevor Mead in the 12 will line up at a position number 4. Sean Pointer lines up the 20 machine from position number 5, and Scott Dobbs will start from the outside of the third row from position number 6. Carson Friedman in car number 3 lines up at a position number 7. Tristan Grape lines up the 14 machine from position number 8. And Joe Cease did not make the start of this one, so just the 8 cars in this one. Lights are out. We are ready for a start. Desmond Busby is going to bring the field down the front straight away, and the green flag is out. We're underway. Hauser's already got the advantage over Wilson as they work down the back straight away. Busby, Hauser and Wilson all held World Championship licenses. So not surprised to see the 3 of them just fall in line at the moment, knowing that, well, they need to lock into the big dance if they want to have a shot at picking up the main event victory here tonight. Trevor Mead back there in the 4th position. Sean Pointer back there in 3rd. Scott Dobbs will go into the 6th position on the racetrack. 8 cars. Coons Grape along with Carson Friedman to round out the field. Trevor Mead trying to drive it in deep as Dylan Wilson catches up to the rear bumper of that 2 machine. The House of Speed entry of Dylan Hauser. 4 down, 6 to run. Desmond Busby already a feature winner here this evening. Wilson to the inside. He'll stay locked to the bottom through 1 and 2. Leave Hauser to run right through the middle of the racetrack on the exit of turn number 2. And now Wilson going to follow Hauser. Same sort of line through 3 and 4. And good battle going on right now for the 2nd and 3rd spot on the racetrack. You see the battle of the Dylans right now. And it's Dylan Hauser in car number 2 has got the advantage. Dylan Wilson right there on the bubble spot. And Trevor Mead closing in on the rear bumper of the 80 machine of Dylan Wilson. But now Wilson goes to the inside on Hauser. They'll race off for turn number 2. Hauser's got it. Here comes Mead now with a run. Mead trying something a little different. Trying to drive it in deep. It's not working for him in 3 and 4. Yeah, not working for him in 3 and 4. 4. Now he'll go back to the bottom side. We're nearly going to be 3 wide. It'll be not even 2 wide just yet. Now it'll be side by side between Hauser and Wilson once again. A lot of respect being shown by these two guys. They know how close they can get to one another. Not rubbing on each other just yet as Busby pulls away by nearly a second over Dylan Hauser. Now look out, Dylan Wilson, look out. You've got Trevor Mead, who is trying to close the gap, but he's only got 4 left-hand turns to make something happen here at heat race number 3. Busby's going to lead. Hauser's going to protect the bottom down into turn number 3. Will's there with I think they may have made a bit of contact there with Wilson and Hauser. I don't think Hauser was too happy with the little bump there. Heat number 3 done and dusted. Quickly, let's take a look at your top 3. Desmond Busby, Dylan Wilson, Dylan Hauser. That's your top 3 that'll go through. Everybody else off to the B mains you go. Heat race number 4 lining up like this. Chase Barber lines up to 23 from pole position to the outside of the front row. Last week's feature race winner, the 1 car of Jesse Endigan, lines up at a position number 2. From 3, it's the 23 car of Matt George. He's outside. Driving the Plumwild podcast, number 5 machine, Nathan Waddell will start from position number 4. Position number 5 with the 32 car of Christopher Joy. Cameron King, the 92, will start 6. Austin Holder in car number 2, lining up at a position number 7. And Joseph Crandy in the 518. He'll start from position number 8. We've got our 8 cars lined up for heat race number 4. Heat number 4 is correct. Just had to make sure I had the right heat races. That was all. We're working through the heats very quickly. Just the 1 caution so far coming in heat race number 2. Chase Barbara, Jesse Enterkin. In the corner number 3, Chase Barber right in the middle of 3 and 4. Gets on the gas. You see the left front pick up and we're underway. But Jesse Endigan, last week's feature winner at the Lanaville Speedway, challenging Barber there in the opening 2 left-hand turns. But no, that might be all she. I don't know. It's only lap number 1, but boy, Chase Barber, we know he's got some speed in the 23 machine. Waddell looking to move in the second spot over Jesse Endigan, but wasn't able to do anything there. Through 1 and 2 there on the previous lap. Christopher Joy, Austin Holder make up your top 5, although Matt George is now coming back after Austin Holder for that 5th spot and will complete the pass. Meanwhile, back up front, nose to tail between your top 3, watching Matt George and Austin Holder in car number 23 and the 2 car. And George has got 5th at the line. Meanwhile, Enterkin looked a little bit better there in turn number 1 and 2. He was quicker there on the previous lap. So the quickest lap of the race so far with a 13.598 is Jesse Enterkin. And again, he was half a tenth quicker nearly then. Chase Barber, your race leader. Cross flag sticks are out already. Halfway home, 5 down, 5 to run. Heat race number 4 of 6. And the back half of these heat races is on the racetrack right now. We've still got heats 5 and 6 to come after this one, followed by 3 B mains and then a warm-up session, then your 50-lap main event. So still plenty of racing to be done here from Lanier National Speedway. Barbara and Enterkin 1 and 2 right now as they work down into 3 and 4. First and second spot. Then you go back to Nathan Waddell back there in position number 3, and he's into a transfer spot. Nose at the 5. Well, he's got a long way back. He's got a 1.4 second even gap back to Christopher Joy in the 32 car. Coming to the 2 to run. And the popsicle sticks are out there for Chase Barbara. Enterkin looks good once again. A little quicker there on the previous lap than what your race leader is doing. But Barbara doing enough to hold on. He knows that he's just got to hold on for 1 more lap. And he will start outside what will be row number 2 in tonight's feature event. Again, we'll lock in 18. Down the back straightaway, final time. Barbara going to run it deep down into 3 and up for turn number 4. He's up near the concrete wall. He will win heat race number 4. Heat 4 done and dusted. We'll take a look at your results coming up on screen right now. Chase Barbara gets the win over Jesse Enterkin in second. Nathan Waddell third. Fourth on back, unfortunately. Well, off to the B main they go with Joy, George, Holder, Grandy and King. Heat race number 5, penultimate heat race of the night. Hayden Tolleson lines up the 327 machine from position number 1. Chase Hardy lines up the 116 from position number 2. Sean Crawsack lines up the 8 machine from 3. Charles Barnes in the 21C from 4. From 5, it's Kenny Cudney in the 25 from position number 5. Jason Moore in the 88 from 6. Devin Ferguson the 43 from 7. And the 13 of Jacob Tabor lines up the 13 from position number 8. So again, heat race number 5 is upon us here. Plumwild Podcast, heat race number 5 in the Plumwild Podcast. Super Late Models presented by Northwest Racing Association. And we're green as they work down into turn number 1 and 2. It's going to be Hayden Tolleson from Chase Hardy, Sean Crawsack and Charles Barnes. They're going to go at it side by side as they work off for turn number 4. Crawsack through the middle and Barnes around the outside. Barnes has got position number 3. Now looking to come after Chase Hardy for the runner-up position, but Hardy too strong on the outside of the racetrack. Devin Ferguson going from 7th to 5th here in the opening lap, or maybe a lap and a half, as Crawsack again still on the outside looking in, started from position number 3. Barnes moving his way forward up into a transfer position, but right now it is all Hayden Tolleson out in front over Chase Hardy in second spot. Then there on screen is Charles Barnes driving the 21C machine. Sean Crawsack along with Devin Ferguson rounding up the top 5. Here comes Kenny Cudney in the 25 machine coming after Ferguson down into 3 and 4. Cudney rolls the inside of the raceway but can't make the pass there on Ferguson. Will he try it again to the low side? Yes, he does. One more time, Cudney and Ferguson. It's Ferguson with the momentum down the back straight away. I don't think the bottom side's just quite there just yet. I think it's somewhat of a slider line at both ends, but I think come the B mains, I dare say that we're going to see most of the drivers just somewhat rolling around the bottom of the raceway. 6 down and 4 laps left to run. Chase Hardy lap after lap after letting Hayden Tolleson get away. He's starting to really be in like a fish on a hook right now. Last lap time by Hardy was a 10th and a bit quicker than Tolleson. That time by, it's another 10th of a second, so he's picked up at least nearly 3/10 of a second over the last 2 laps. And again, here comes Hardy with a big move there on Hayden Tolleson, but again, not enough to complete the slide jump. 2 laps left to run. And although that was half a 10th quicker there to Hayden Tolleson, he now just starts to drive away. I think he's done enough right now, Tolleson. He's just got to put one solid lap together. White flag is out, 1 to run. To the bottom he goes. He'll slide it right through the middle of the racetrack off for turn number 2. He knows that he doesn't need to do anything silly. He doesn't need to get near the concrete walls, and that's exactly what he does do. He doesn't go anywhere near them. And Hayden Tolleson will take home a victory here in heat race number 5. We'll get to your 6th and final heat race here in a moment. We'll take a look at the results. Hayden Tolleson, Chase Hardy and Charles Barnes, another clean 10 laps of heat racing competition. 4th on back, again off to the B main we go as we see the final heat race lining up on the racetrack. Andrew Clark will start on pole in car number 5. Diesel Jones in the 46 from position number 2. Brett Cordell lines up the 93 from 3 in the 18 of Cameron Case and will start from position number 4. From 5, it's the chef for Bob Klein. From position number 6, the 44 of Aaron Bowman. Scooter Black lines up the 5 machine from position number 7, and the 1, 2, 3 of Rodney Gard lines up at a position number 8. Final heat race of the night coming up here from Lanier National Speedway. See if we can get a couple of laps from the drone cam. See what it's like. Off for turn number 4. Here we go. Andrew Clark has led the field down to the start-finish line and down into turn number 1. It's going to be Clark leading the way from Diesel Jones, but Jones closing in right now on your race leader of Clark as they work to complete lap number 1. Meanwhile, Brett Cordell's got some company there with Bob Klein is now Klein. He's got some company, Cameron Case and Rodney Gard trying to move forward in this one as well. Watching right in the middle of the screen, the 93, Brett Cordell. He's right there, stuck in the middle of 2. Make that 4 cars, 2 in front, 2 behind. Both those battles battling for positions. 1 for the race lead, 1 for better starting spots in the B mains. 3 down, 7 to go. Caudle closing in right there on first and second as Diesel Jones had a good peek down to the inside in 3 and 4 as now Jones goes upstairs into 1 and 2. Caudle tried to move back to the inside, but now we'll go back to the normal camera here for the remainder of this one. 4 down, 6 to run. And your race leader is Andrew Clark over Diesel Jones and Brett Caudle. That's your top 3. Bob Klein back there in 4th, holding off Cameron Kaysen for the 5th spot. Klein looked to get a little tight there in the middle of 10 over 3 and 4. But again, we stay focused and watching 2nd and 3rd. Even your top 3 on screen, Andrew Clark, Diesel Jones and Brett Caudle. Klein, Kaysen, Guard, Bowman and Black for the 8 cars to contest what is heat race number 6, your 6th and final heat race of the night. Caudle once again trying the right through the middle of the racetrack in turn number 1 and 2. Meanwhile, Diesel Jones, he was just trying to rip the lip in 1 and 2. Goes the middle, slider line through 3 and 4. So I'm sure these drivers that have already locked into the main event, I'm sure, in fact, everybody who's raced so far, I'm sure they're keeping a very close eye at what has been happening here on the racetrack, where the line is, where the fastest line might be. And I got to say, the last 3 heat races, we've seen a number of different lines being utilised. We go the middle slider line, we go the top in 1 and 2. Bottom's really not there, so it's going to make for some interesting calls and strategies for the B mains later on, which are going to come up right after this one. Into 3 and 4, final time. Checkered flag is out. It's going to be Andrew Clark in the win. Diesel Jones home in 2nd, Brett Caudle 3rd, Bob Klein home in 4th, Cameron Kaysen rounds out your top 5, Rodney Guard, Aaron Bowman and Scooter Black. For the drivers in heat race number 6, we'll take a look at those official results coming up right now before we take a look at what will be the first of 3 B-mains. So Clark, Jones and Caudle going to the show. Klein, Kaysen, Guard, Bowman and Black off to the B-mains. They go. And speaking of B-mains, up they come right now. 15 laps is going to be the distance for the 3 B-mains, and we'll take the top 2. It's going to be 11 cars in B-main. Number 1, Colin Bocas alongside Christopher Joy on the front row. Row number 2 is going to be Caleb Durgan and Matt George. Tristan Sykes, Austin Holder will make up row number 3. Row number 4 going to be Tyler Clement alongside Joseph Grandy. Row number 5, penultimate row, Tyson Banks and Cameron King. And Aaron McGee to make up the final row by himself in position number 11. 15 laps to distance here. B-main number 1. And I can confirm, if you're not in the top 2, you are done. Lights are out. Safety car, the pace truck is in. We get on the gas. We're on the fun pedal. We are underway. Boy, Caleb Durgan got a good start there along with Colin Bocas. 3 wide, Joy going right through the middle. And Caleb Durgan going to lead right now down into turn number 3. Bocas into the wall. Oh, Matt George goes around. We'll go yellow. Matt George in the 23 around. Let's take a look at the instant replay. So you can just see the red car. Colin Bocas just gets up over the cushion, gets into the wall, and it comes down into the right side rear bumper of the 23 car of Matt George. And George goes around. Can confirm Colin Bocas has been given an EOL for that one. As you can see, just pulling down there to the inside of the racetrack. So because we officially didn't get 1 lap in the books, Caleb Durgan is actually going to restart in 2nd. So that'll give Christopher Joy back the race lead. If you wonder how that works, well, because of the initial start, Christopher Joy at the start-finish line there on the initial start, he was ahead of Caleb Durgan. It was only that Durgan got by on the exit of turn number 2 That's why they basically go back to what is almost like a complete restart, except for the guy that got charged with the penalty. Durgan sweeping around the outside there of Christopher Joy. Joy drives it deep down into 3. Here comes Durgan. Your race for the lead off turn number 4 is on right now. And boy, that was very close here at the start-finish line between Caleb Durgan and Christopher Joy. It was 2/1,000th of a second separating the pair as they work through 3 and 4. This time Durgan has got it over Joy. Here comes Holder. And there was less than 1/10 of a second there between Joy and Holder. And now Holder on the inside. Holder's got second right through the middle of turn number 3 and 4. Who's it going to be? Austin Holder. Now clear of Christopher Joy. And Joy now tries to go back to the inside. He stuck a nose up there on the inside. Now going to force Austin Holder to move a lane. Joy right to the bottom side. Austin Holder showed him the line. Joy's going to have second there. By just 19/1,000th of a second. And now Holder coming back at Joy down into turn number 3. They're rubbing door panels. Boy, they're beating and banging. Touch and love and squeeze and feeling through 3 and 4. Holder has second. He'll reclaim the runner-up position. And like I said, you need to be inside the top 2. If you're not inside the top 2, if you're third on back, well, we send you packing for round number 2. Holder just drove it pretty much balls to the wall off for turn number 4. We'll go yellow. And that's going to give Austin Holder back the runner-up position. Looks like the 77 car of Aaron McGee. In fact, I think it had something maybe to do with Joseph Grandy. There it is. So Grandy. Oh, the 97 car of Tyler Clement. Jeez, Clement didn't miss him. Tyler Clement did not miss him in the 97. Did he just hit the wall just then? So Clement just got given an EOL. Clement did in fact hit the wall. Does not move. Just for those playing at home. So B main number 1 on the racetrack. Still got the second and third B mains to come. Caleb Durgan chooses the outside line on a restart. And he'll be able to lead us to the green flag once again. Austin Holder starts on the bottom side, and well, that's probably good for Austin Holder. Christopher Joy third, Tyson Banks, Matt George. Remember Matt George? He got turned around there on the opening lap by Bocas. Up the Bocas, come off the wall. So George has found his way back up to what is now position number 4, and he had fourth by 2/1,000th of a second over Tyson Banks. Holder to the low side, trying to track down your race leader right there of Caleb Durgan, but right now watching third, fourth and fifth battle it on screen as we'll go yellow. That's Bocas in the 39 car. Tough break for Colin Bocas. Started outside the front row. In fact, started on pole of tonight's B main, just up into the wall, and yes. So, is what it is. So Bocas will be charged with the penalty. However, he is done for the night. Can confirm he is out of this one. Lights are out. 4 remaining here in tonight's first of 3 B mains. Can we appreciate the support here on Ultimate Dirt TV, whether you're live across Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, it doesn't really matter. Hit that like and follow button. Hit the thumbs up on the video. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube feed. Again, all free to watch, all crystal clear on the YouTube side of things. We're back underway with 3.5 to go. Caleb Durgan, Christopher Joy gets into the wall. That'll pretty much ruin any chance of him getting into the main event unless something happens between Austin Holder and Caleb Durgan, because right now those two guys have checked out. Banks and George going to resume their battle for what is position number 4 and 5. And speaking of things happening up front, Holder and Durgan made contact in the middle of 3 and 4. Again, that will now bring in Christopher Joy here for the final lap as they work off turn number 4. White flag is out. Durgan and Holder first and second. Durgan goes upstairs. Holder down low, side by side for the race lead. Who's it gonna be? Into turn number 3, off for corner number 4. Checkered flag is out. Christopher Joy into the concrete wall. Durgan gonna hold on. Austin Holder in second. Third at the line is going to be Christopher Joy. Let's take a look at B main number 1 results. Durgan, Holder go through to the show. Joy, Banks, George go home. Clemens, Sykes, King, McGee and Bocas. Top 10, they all get sent packing along with Grandy. Your B main number 2 going to line up like this. Colton Zimmer and Sean Crawsyke lines up on the front row. Robert Overstreet alongside Devin Ferguson will make up the second row. Row number 3, inside outside, it'll be Ashton Farr and Kenny Cudney. Then we go back to row number 4, it's Connor Doherty and Jason Moore. Row 5, Chance Carr, Jacob Tabor. And the 6th and final row is Thomas Vickers all by himself, as B main number 2 is upon us on the raceway. Colton Zimmer gets on the gas, and already we're going to go 3 wide there on that start there for second, third and fourth position. Ferguson, Crawsyke and Overstreet. It's going to be Crawsyke to hold on to position number 2. Colton Zimmer here will lead lap number 1. Zimmer works to the low side. Crawsyke will somewhat follow him down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Overstreet now trying to get by Devin Ferguson as Devin Ferguson runs it right in through the middle of turn number 3, off for turn number 4. He's way upstairs and he's just keeping the momentum up in that CSR number 43 machine. Here comes Kenny Cudney in car 25, looking to get one more spot over Robert Overstreet. That's 4th and 5th on screen right now. Just in front of them is a 43 car of Devin Ferguson. In third position, Jason Moore, Chance Carr, Ashton Farr, all roll the bottom of the racetrack through turn number 1 and 2. It's just Ferguson and Overstreet who are going right upstairs, and you can see Jacob Tabor as well in that 13 machine. Connor Doherty back in the pits. He'll be out of this one in B main competition. Sucks for Connor Doherty to see him exit already. Cudney, Overstreet, and again side by side since pretty much what has been lap number 2. So for the past, what is now going to call it 5 laps, Cudney goes to the top. Overstreet going to throw the slider. You race for 5th and 6th, and now 7th is here comes Chance Carr. Going to make contact with the 25 car of Cudney. Cudney gets tight 3 wide. Cudney got into Overstreet. Here comes Jason Moore now. Down to the inside. Moore was trying to make it 3 wide. Jason Moore going to go around. Yellow will come out. Jason Moore just drove it in a little too deep. He thought he had a run. Just a little too hot down into turns 3. And I want to say whether he stabbed the brakes or let up just to not get into the side of Chance Carr. But not going to matter because the lights are already out. Field is set into rows of 2 by 2 once again. 15 laps the distance for B main at number 2. 7 complete, 8 to run. Back to the green we go. Colton Zimmer leads from Sean Crawsyke. Look at this, 3 wide, nearly almost 4 wide there. And the 25 car of Kenny Cudney got the worst end of that one. Ashton Farr trying to go around the outside. Thomas Vickers from the back of the field also trying to make it work. Vickers started in 11th and he's up to position number 6 right now. Overstreet along with Chance Carr. Now Vickers is going to go through the middle. He'll slide it up to try and keep the momentum up in the number 23 machine. As Carr and Overstreet, they'll go back at it side by side through turn number 1. Off for turn number 2 and Chance Carr, who was well clear of the 46 machine. Now Speaking of the 46 of Robert Overstreet, look out because you've got the 23 of Thomas Vickers now to the inside, working right down on the pole line. The 25 of Kenny Cudney. He's one of the substitute drivers here tonight, so I'm sure he would love to try and get as many points. I dare say that, well, he would even love to put it into the show, but right now, I think that's a very unlikely possibility. Is watching Colton Zimmer and Sean Crawsick on the other monitor. They are driving away from this field. Jason Moore coming after Vickers and Cudney down the front straight away. Vickers with a slide job on Cudney, parks it right on the nose, will go yellow. And that means we have a green-white checker situation coming up. So we wonder who that will go on. Vickers. Can tell you right now, Vickers is done for. He is already exited stage left. So we'll see Thomas Vickers no more for night number 2 of the Plumwild Podcast Super Late Models. There is the 13 car of Connor Doherty. In fact, it's not Doherty, it's Jacob Tabor in the pit area. Here we go, green-white checker and Colton Zimmer. We'll talk about getting a good restart. Sean Crawsick, look out. Devin Ferguson, he's only got a few more opportunities to make the pass, and he's got to get by him. And he's got to do it very quickly because the white flag will come out. 1 lap left to go for Colton Zimmer. Crawsick still running in the runner-up position, but Devin Ferguson right there. What does Ferguson do down into turn number 3, off for corner number 4? Checkered flag is out. Colton Zimmer gets the win in B main number 2. Second round to Sean Crawsick. Third at the line is going to be Devin Ferguson. Chance Carr in 4th. Kenny Cudney rounds out your top 5. Then you go back to Robert Overstreet in 6th position. 7th. Here's Jason Moore. Ashton Farr, 8th. Last car on the lead lap. Tabor Vickers along with Doherty for the 11 cars in B main number 2. B main number 3 going to line up like this. It'll be Trevor Mead and Bob Klein to make up the front row. Row number 2 going to be Sean Pointer and Cameron Kaysen. Row number 3, Scott Dobbs and Rodney Gard. Row number 4, Carson Friedman and Aaron Bowman. Row number 5, Tristan Koonsgrape alongside Scooter Black. And then Joe Cease is the driver that, again, I don't think is going to be here for this one. He is not, so 10 cars. B main number 3, 10 cars, 15 laps. And for these 10 drivers, 2 of them are going to go through. The other 8 we send packing for either the Pro Late Models tomorrow, not tomorrow night, but the night after on Wednesday night. As Bob Klein, Trevor Mead will go at it for the race lead. Pointer trying the big dive bomb into 3 and 4. Got to be careful. Mead will lead the opening lap right there from Bob Klein, as Klein still runs in 2nd spot. Klein needs to be very careful here at the minute. It's still very early on in this last chance qualifier. B main number 3. At this stage, they're not touching the track, so it is going to be left alone. Certainly an interesting call to make, and well, you know what? We're not paid to make calls like this. We're here to call the race, and it's a super late model thanks to Plumwild Podcast and the Northwest Racing Association. Mead, Klein, your top 2. Then you go back to Kaysen on screen in the 18, followed by Sean Pointer in car number 20. Again, Bob Klein all over the back of Trevor Mead. Now will make the pass for an attempted pass for the race lead. It's still Trevor Mead. 6 down, 9 to run. Trevor Mead still holds on to the number 1 position over Bob Klein. Here comes Cameron Kaysen. Just a little quicker than the 2 guys out in front. Sean Pointer, quickest car on the racetrack in the previous lap there. So now what is 2 laps ago, he was the only driver in the 13.9s. A 13.956. Bob Klein a 13.990. Done that on the opening 2 or 3 laps. But everything else, every other time has been sort of 14 zeros, 14 ones, 14 twos. Six remaining. B main number 3. Trevor Mead, your race leader, 5 to run. And the palm comes out from Barney, the R-Racing flagman. Klein, you cannot get too comfortable. Cameron Kaysen still work on the top side. Now goes back to the bottom side in 3 and 4. Kaysen had to get down there to protect, because here comes Sean Pointer. And you've got the top 4 cars on screen right there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. But again, reminder, it's only the top 2 that will advance into tonight's A main event. Working on 2 to run. One and a half remaining, and here comes Cameron Kaysen to the outside into turn number 3. Bob Klein going to set us up for an absolute bomber of a finish. I think Cameron Kaysen had it. We've got a lap car about to play some havoc. Scooter Black is going to be that car. Will he take effect? No. Into 3 and 4. Final time. Trevor Mead going to win this one. It's going to be Cameron Kaysen stealing second at the line in the final 2 laps. And if you're Bob Klein, you absolutely gutted at that one. He done nothing wrong, except he left the door open. B main number 3 results. Trevor Mead, Cameron Kaysen, the 2 cars to go through to tonight's 50-lap main event. After 15 laps, Klein, Pointer, Friedman, unfortunately send them packing along with Bowman, Coonsgrape, Guard, Dobbs, and Black. We'll take a quick break here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Come back with your main event. You're watching the Plumwild Podcast. Super Late Models, presented by Northwest Racing Association. Round number 2 here at Lanier National Speedway.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racing enthusiasts all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. The car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and racing teams. Our skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly racing series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 200,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams, race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12-Hour. Participate in solo races, championship seasons, and hosted and league events with AI Racing. With a rapidly expanding catalog of 70-plus cars and 85-plus tracks from real-world racing series, test your abilities with challenging computer-based competition. Additional partners include IMSA, the World of Outlaws, and Supercars, allowing members to participate in their very own Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, Sebring 12-Hour, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
And we are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV coverage of the Plumwild podcast. Super late models presented by Northwest Racing Association. Round number 2 here at Lanier National Speedway. Good evening, race fans. Brett Wheeler with you for the call as we get set for a main action time here. Don't forget, tomorrow night it is going to be the Big Block Modifieds. Live with Joe White and OSR Ren. Tomorrow night for the Durgy Dig Performance Big Block Modifieds from 10 o'clock Eastern. They will be headed to, I believe, what is going to be Cedar Lake Speedway. Then the Mountain View Plumbing Pro Late Models on Wednesday night. Steel City Showdown, Lernerville Speedway. Live on Ultimate TV from 11 o'clock on Wednesday night. Then Thursday night, 10 o'clock Eastern, live with Joe White, OSR Network. It is going to be the Iowa State Nationals for the Northwest Racing Association Pure Street Stock, the Pure Stock Street Stock Series. All right, A-main time. Let's take a look at your starting lineup. Here we go. Dylan Yeager will start alongside Cruz Cordell on the front row. Second row, inside, outside, is going to be Desmond Busby and Chase Barbara. Row 3, inside and outside, Hayden Tolson and Andrew Clark. Row number 4, we go back to Connor New and Peyton Burton. Row number 5, Dylan Wilson, last week's feature race winner Jesse Enterkin. Row 6 going to consist of Chase Hardy and Diesel Jones. Row number 7, Tristan Laudersua and Damien Kiefer. Row number 8, Dylan Hauser and Nathan Waddell. Row number 9, Charles Barnes and Brett Cottle. Row number 10, your B-main winner, a couple of B-main winners, Caleb Durgan and Colton Zimmer. Row number 11, a B-main winner in Trevor Mead and Austin Holder, runner-up in the B-main. Will start from position number 22. And position number 23, 24, Sean Crossike and Cameron Kaysen make up the field here for tonight's main events. As they work through turn number 1 and 2. Ladies and gentlemen, 50 laps on the board. Safety car is in field. It's time to go racing here at Lanier National Speedway. The Plumwild podcast, a main event is underway. It's going to be Dylan Yeager leading the way right now down the back straightaway. Cruz Cordell. We see a lot of drivers migrating to the bottom side of the raceway. Boy, it's really starting to stack up right now. You just never know where people are going to go. Oh, look out. One car around the 21C of Charles Barnes. Charles Barnes around on the raceway in the 21C. Actually caught that on the other monitor. I was actually just going back and looking through the back of the field just to try and get the multiple different angles for you. And there is the 21C. That was Kiefer who got into the back of him. Sean Crossike in the 8 machine, missing a left front. Make that a right front, sorry. So wait for the lights to go out. They are currently at 2 to green. I'll tell you when we're going back green because we're not going just yet. Lights are out now. So you can see leaders up towards the top left-hand side. And you can see right around what is going to be the 8th or 9th, even 10th position. So somewhere around the 4th, 5th, 6th row. Watching looks like to be the 116 car of Chase Hardy. Back underway. Lap 3 is in the books. We've still got 47 to run. And again, you can just see them really spread out over this Lanier National Speedway. No, look out. We've got cars around again. They kept it going, so we stay green. for the moment. Now look out, here comes Chase Barbara to the outside there of Andrew Clark. Chase Barbara moves to position number 5. Hayden Tollison trying to move forward in the 327 machine. Again, we look at some of the biggest movers through the field. Well, there's about a handful of drivers that have picked up 2 or more positions right now. Back to Dylan Wilson, Hayden Tollison, side by side as Jaeger continues to lead the way over Cruz Cordell and Desmond Busby. That's your top 3. New, Barbara make up your top 5. Then you go back and look at this battle. 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th at a 2x2 right there. Tollison on the outside of the 80 car. That's Dylan Wilson in car number 80. Then to the inside, the 116 of Chase Hardy. To his outside, the 5 car of Andrew Clark. Oh, excuse me, and here comes last week's feature race winner, the 1 car of Jesse Enterkin. Back up front, or back up just in front of those cars to watch the 80 of Dylan Wilson. Look out, Austin Holder into the wall. Austin Holder, car number 2, into the wall. Let's take a look at the replay. So already that car was broken, and he couldn't quite get out of the way, and there was your leader. So he had no choice. And then that car just would not turn. And unfortunately, Holder, he'd stopped on the racetrack. So you can see that the 2 car, and you see another 2 car, that's Dylan Hauser rolling through the pit area. Oh, okay. I think I've stumbled upon something here. Okay. Now I've just got to figure out where it is. Anyhow, field is back up into rows of 2x2. Back to green. Let's try that later on as we're back underway. Dylan Jaeger. Again, back to leading this field. We completed 11 of 50, 39. We'll make it 38 to go. Jaeger, Cordell, and Busby. Again, watch Dylan Wilson trying to get up the inside there. The 10 car of Connor New. Connor New, the rear end beaten. He's lost, almost looks like he's lost a spoiler. He has on the number 10 car. Chase Hardy in the 116, trying to send it upstairs, trying to make something happen. Andrew Clark going to go around, facing the wrong way. Let's see if this one works. It does somewhat work. Okay. All right, we'll play with that a little bit more. We'll get that fixed. So back alive here on Ultimate Dirt TV, watching the 5 car of Andrew Clark. So wait to see who gets penalised for that one. So we've changed the restarts. We've gone to single file. There we go. We are back underway in tonight's main event. And I'll tell you what, let's do something a little different right now. So, if we look, we're going to look on board, down to the bottom right of your screen. Then down outside the back of this one, you're going to look at Cruz Cordell. Let's look out of the left rear just to see, so you can see that is the driver that sits in second spot. And then down the bottom right, on board Dylan Wilson. So you can just see there's a couple of cars in between them. Desmond Busby, Chase Barbara. You get a good look at how this racetrack is starting to unfold. And in fact, you know what? Let's take a look out the front and the back of the Dylan Wilson machine. So there he is on screen. Right now he sits in position number 5. Just driving away right there from Chase Hardy. So back to the single screen is watching again Chase Barbara. Unable to do anything just yet. He's just got to wait for Desmond Busby to make that mistake. And I know these guys, I know some of these drivers were very adamant on having that track reset. Watching right now. In fact, let's just see if this one works. I don't know what this is going to do, but watching right there, there's Dylan Wilson. Sorry, that's Chase Barbara. Sorry, on board Chase Barbara. Again, still watching him on the raceway. Goes Barbara behind Desmond Busby, Dylan Wilson. But it's all Dylan Yeager out in front, just a couple of laps away right now from halfway distance. Is Jesse Entigan going to battle right there with Nathan Waddell? That is for what his positions 9 and 10. Tolson to the outside of Tristan Laudersewer. Laudersewer making it work on the inside, but again, Tolson, he'll cut it back down to the inside. And unfortunately, this is what was afraid was going to happen if we didn't get the track reset. But you know what? Hey, we live and we learn right now. It was a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation. Laudersewer into the back of Hayden Tolson in the middle of 3 and 4. And now here comes Nathan Waddell. Waddell has to check up big time. Meanwhile, Colton Zimmer closes in on Jesse Entigan right now. And Colton Zimmer, who's gone from 20th to 11th. He's picked up 9 spots. Sean Corsack from 23rd to 13th. He's picked up 10. So the pair of them have passed 19 cars between them. And you know they're not done with just yet. They want to make this one work. Right now, look at this battle on screen. As you can see, what you are watching from high above the racetrack and from the normal press box cam. Couple of cars, they come together. Laudersewer and the 5 car of Waddell and Tolson. Pretty sure he almost got into the back of Chase Hardy as well. So you can just see how slick this racetrack is right now. Up front, it's still Dylan Yeager over Cruz Cordell. Then you go back to Desmond Busby right there in position number 3. He's got Chase Barbara in 4th position right there. Oh, 1 car around. Chase Hardy around. Yellow is out. Just as we stopped watching the multiple screens there. Chase Hardy, Hayden Tolson, I think, is going to be the culprit for this one. Certainly was. Got him. The 116 goes around. And the 327 should go to the tail end of the field. Can confirm Hayden Tolson has been charged with the end of line penalty. So Tolson to the back. And we're going back to double file restarts with what will be 19 laps to go. Lights are out on the pace truck. Who's it going to be off turn number 4? Well, we know it's going to be Dylan Yeager leading the way from Cruz Cordell. Boy, this track is really, really glossy right now. It is very, very slick as there is a big kerfuffle on the front straightaway. For the moment, we're going to stay green. We'll come to 17 to go at the start-finish line. Dylan Yeager still leading the way over Cruz Cordell, Chase Barbara, Desmond Busby. Still, that's your top 4 as Barbara has found his way to a podium position. Then you go back to Nathan Waddell. Oh, these drivers are still fighting for the bottom side of the racetrack. Look, it's making a fight for the inside. That's Dylan Hauser. He just threw the big dive bomb there. 3 wide. Diesel Jones, Damien Kiefer, and Hauser. Look at Jesse Endigan, last week's feature race winner. He knows that he's got to try something different. And well, the time now is go. It's go, go, go. Get upstairs. See if you can make it work. If you can find the speed and momentum. It's going to be very tough to pass these guys. Look out, Damien Kiefer nearly goes around. Kiefer, Hauser, and Durgan. 3 wide again. Barnes and Connor New now coming back into the picture. And again, you've got to try something out of left field. 3 wide, New, Barnes and Kiefer again. Kiefer, he wasn't even mid-track and he was 3 wide. And this is outside the top 10 if you don't mind. Waddell closing in right now on Desmond Busby, but Charles Barnes is going to go around, and unfortunately it was only going to be a matter of time. Oh boy. Geez, talk about a real big pucker-up moment there. So watching the 21C car of Charles Barnes. In fact, I might have this figured out, this replay thing here. Let's see. No, okay, that's the delay. I don't need that. Let's try it again. I mean, that's close. The NLRA instant replay. You just see Connor New gets into the back of Charles Barnes. Let's see who's going to be at fault for that one. So I think the lights are still on. So I think race controller just race controller taking a real good look at this one. So still no word from race control as to who is going to be charged with the caution. I think they're just going to call it as a racing deal. They've just taken away the laps, and the lights are out on the iRacing.com safety car as we are 1 to green and 11 laps left to run. Tonight's main event, Plumwild Podcast. Super Late Models round number 2 here at Lanier National Speedway, presented by Northwest Racing Association. Back to the green flag we go, and we are back underway in tonight's main event. Cruz Cordell around the outside of Dylan Yeager. Your battle for the lead is now on. And we know who has been trying to save the most equipment. Cruz Cordell is going to lead that lap. Busy, I think Cordell led it. Yes, he did by 0.042 of a second. And Cordell, for the first time tonight, will lead the feature event. Dylan Yeager now finds himself in second position. Cordell has got the lead. Chase Barbara back to a podium position. Meanwhile, Nathan Waddell in fourth spot. Wilson alongside Desmond Busby to be in the 5th and 6th positions right now. But 8 laps left to run. Jaeger trying to fight back on the inside of your race leader of Cruz Cordell. But Cordell has enough to hold on to the number 1 position. Your top 4 there on screen. Waddell thought about the power move there to the inside of Chase Barber, but thought better of it. Another lap into the books, and as the laps wind down, you had got to think that right now, as long as Cruz Cordell does not make the mistake, he has every chance at visiting victory lane. He can't leave the door open like that, because if he does, Dylan Jaeger, he's going to put the front bumper up on the inside, and he'll force Cordell up the racetrack to take a different approach and a different line. Again, he's going to leave the door open just a little bit, but I don't think Jaeger's quite confident enough to get the job done there through turn number 3 and 4. It's got to be into turn number 1 and 2 as they work down the back straight away. We're less than 5 laps left to go. It'll be 4 right now. Everybody migrated to the bottom side of the racetrack, but it's all going to be who can hit it, who is going to make that mistake. Barbara looking to close in on the top 2 as here comes Jaeger once again. Stand up, final 3 laps is upon us. And the top 4 are right there within striking distance. Jaeger and Cordell side by side up in the turn number 1 and 2. But now here comes Barbara on Jaeger and Waddell on Barbara. Boy, one mistake from one of these drivers, it really could change the outcome of this race. 2 to go, the popsicle sticks around. Jaeger again trying to force Cordell up the racetrack, maybe with a little bit of a bump there, but fair play. Play on. White flag is out. 1 lap left to go. Cruz Cordell, he's got 4 turns. He's got through turn number 1 and 2, back straight away for the final time. In the Plumwild podcast main event round number 2, Jaeger's going to send it deep into turn number 3. He's going to lose the runner-up spot, but it does not matter. Cruz Cordell is going to go to victory lane. Cruz Cordell will go to victory lane. He will take out the win here in tonight's main event. Let's take a look at your official results here on screen. Cruz Cordell gets the win over Chase Barber home in 2nd spot. Dylan Jaeger, after leading some 39 laps, will come home in the 3rd spot. We'll chat to those 3 drivers here in just a few moments' time. Nathan Waddell home in 4th. 5th is going to go to Dylan Wilson. Colton Zimmer in 6th. Desmond Busby 7th. Tristan Laudasua, Diesel Jones, Dylan Hauser make up your top 10. Over the page, 11th through to 20th will look like this. It's Caleb Durgan in 11th. Connor New in 12th. Andrew Clark 13th. Jesse Entigan 14th. Cameron Kaysen rounds out the top 15. Trevor Mead, Sean Crawsack make up the 17 and the final 17 cars on the lead lap. Charles Barnes, Peyton Burton, Hayden Tolson all come home in 18th and 19th and 20th spots respectively. Austin Holder 21st, Damien Kiefer 22nd, Chase Hardy 23rd and Brett Cottle in position number 24. Let's go trackside right now to chat to your top 3. We'll go from 3rd to 1st, bring in 3rd place here tonight. It's the 48 car of Dylan Jaeger. Dylan, boy, this has got to be a bit of sweet. You led 39 laps, and then that final restart, it just opened up the door. And boy, I tell you what, it made for an exciting last 5 or 6 laps.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm pretty disappointed in how that ended. Definitely felt like I had the fastest car pretty much by far. You know, every green flag run we had, you know, I would gap them by, you know, a second in 10 laps, and I was all over him there in the last run. But I don't know how to move people. I'm not one that's ever really been one to race like that, and that's how you have to pass on this track, and I have no experience doing it. And you know, kudos to Cruz. You know, he had a good restart there and got around me, and I just couldn't do it.
We obviously did not have a track reset. I know there was a handful of drivers that were against having it, but then there was I feel like from looking at, you know, what was being said between the drivers, it looked like that maybe it should have had a reset. Your thoughts on the racetrack?
I mean, I don't really know because I wasn't really racing people pretty much the whole race. You know, I thought it was fine just because that's what I've been testing the whole time, and I knew that I was going to be pretty fast on it. And you know, ended up being pretty good. From what I heard from my teammates, it was pretty locked down on the bottom, so that's kind of a bummer. Lanier usually is pretty hit or miss anyways, so you know, I thought it was all right.
Dylan, congratulations on third place, round number 2 of the Plumwild Podcast Super Late Models presented by Northwest Racing Association. Before we let you go, we'll let you thank everybody involved in this 48 car, mate.
Yeah, gotta thank everybody at Majulsi Speed Shop and CFM. Evan does a fantastic job on these sets. They're so fast. Every race I'm in, I feel really fast. Gotta thank John Darby, everybody over there, and Eddie for putting the league on and you for the broadcast.
Dylan Yeager home in third spot, and rightfully so. You can just hear he's very dejected, and rightfully so after leading some 30-odd laps in this main event. Second spot here tonight, getting it late at the very death. It's going to be the 23 car of Chase Barbara. Chase, congratulations on the second place finish here tonight. And, boy, that was, again, Dylan said it. It was Lanier's one of those hit-or-miss tracks, but late in the end of that race, it looked like your 23 car had a fair bit of speed.
Yeah, I mean, we were set up for the late run. I knew I wasn't going to be the best early, and I wasn't very good early, but as the tires started to blow up, I just got better and better, and, we kind of made a run at it at the end, but there was really nothing you could do. It was so rubbered up, but, I mean, for all the circumstances, it was a pretty good race, I'm not going to lie. I mean, usually you wreck a lot up front when it's like that, move each other out the way, and everybody, for the most part, raced with a lot of respect, so... it was a pretty good race, and I'll take second any day, especially starting fifth on a track like that. I knew it was going to be really hard to pass.
Talk us through the cockpit of that 23 car late in that race, especially coming there to the checkered flag. Is Yeager opened up that door, and you just got to run off turn number 4?
Well, I was just waiting because I know those two were in front of me, and you can't really make a move, so I was just kind of trying to ride behind him and, maybe hope that going off in the last corner you'd do something crazy, but he didn't, and I just arced my corner, cut under him, tried to get to second, and thankfully we got it. But, just thank all my sponsors, Speed Ranch and everybody for working so hard for me. I don't really get on here and do much now. I just kind of get on and drive and don't really test as much as I used to. But I really, really appreciate all of them for, helping me continue to stay competitive.
Chase, well done on the run-up finish here tonight. Again, we'll let you thank everybody involved again on this 23 car.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Speed Ranch, like I said, Cocky Floyd, Dirty South, Lucas Druark for spotting me, just Tanner Tomas, everybody who helps me out, and you guys for putting this league on and this broadcast and everything you do for us. We couldn't do it without y'all.
Chase Barbara home in second place here tonight, and well, getting the win here tonight, driving car number 55. It's Cruz Cordell. Cruz, a feature race winner here with the Northwest Racing Association. How does this one feel?
Man, it feels outstanding.
Let's go to that.
I don't think I have any words for the last restart.
Well, that was the question I was going to ask you. Let's go straight to that final restart because the first 37, 38 laps, you had to tuck in line behind Yeager. That last restart, you got a good run on the outside, and essentially that was the race-winning move. Talk us through what was going through your mind there on that final restart.
Well, I knew the couple restarts before, if I could ever get to his outside, it was over. It was just the momentum. You can't really get your exit like you need to when you're running the bottom, double file like that. So, like I said, I knew that if I ever got to his outside, I'd get around him and just have to hold him off for a little bit until the checkered flag.
What was the strategy for this 55 car? Considering that you did start on the outside of the front row, like I said, you sat in second for the majority of that race. What was the game plan for you?
Be honest with you, the game plan was just to ride as long as I could and finish second. I was not, I didn't see winning this race just because Dylan had so much more of a better car than I did, but I'm glad I could come out on top where I needed to be.
What does it mean for you in the 55 car to come away with a victory here tonight as we bring the momentum forward to next week at the Knoxville Raceway?
Man, it means a lot just coming from a bad week last week. I think I got 13th, 14th or something like that at Lernerville. So this definitely helped me out in points a good bit, and maybe we can keep it rolling over into next week.
Knoxville next week, how do you feel going into that one for round number 3?
Knoxville's one of my best tracks, I feel like. So I believe we're going to do a lot of testing. I think we're going to find a lot of speed no one's going to be able to find. And I think me and Dylan and all the House Speed boys are going to be, at least fighting for a top spot.
Cruz, congratulations on the victory here for what is round number 2 of the Plumwild podcast. Super Late Models presented by Northwest Racing Association. Before we let you go, we'll let you thank everybody involved on this 55 car.
House Speed, Dylan, Keith, Charles, Nathan, all the boys over there, Jamie, they helped me out a lot. Solon's Transportation, Cody Williams Design, he done this car for me, and I think it does look pretty good. So y'all go check him out. Outlaw Virtual Design, and the good Lord above.
Cruz, congratulations on the victory. We look forward to seeing you back next week, week number 3 at the Knoxville Raceway.
Appreciate it, Brett.
Cruz Cordell, your winner here tonight from Lanier National Speedway. And of course, that will wrap up, I'll spit that out eventually, wrap up week number 2 of the Plumwild podcast, Super Late Models presented by Northwest Racing Association for what is season number 11 in the Northwest Racing Association series. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night, Ultimate Dirt TV back live with World of Thunder Esports League competition, but more from the Northwest Racing Association. They've got the Durgy, I'll get it right, the Durgy Dig Performance Big Block Modified Series, the Durgy Dig Performance Big Block Modifieds. Tomorrow night, week number 2, live from Cedar Lake Speedway, the Midwest Invasion round number 1. It'll be 50 laps on board from 10 o'clock Eastern. You can catch live on OSRN or OSR Network with Joe White in the booth, good friend of ours here at Ultimate Dirt TV, so make sure you check him out. Then, of course, Wednesday night we come back live on Ultimate Dirt TV with a doubleheader. First up, we've got the Down and Dirty Outlaws with the 360 sprint cars at 9 o'clock Eastern, and then 11 o'clock Eastern back live here with the Mountain View Plumbing Pro Late Models presented by Northwest Racing Association. We'll head to the Lernerville Speedway. In fact, we'll be at Lernerville Speedway for both those races. And then, of course, Thursday night, the big one for Ultimate Dirt TV. We've got a triple header, 2 Coast-to-Coast Racing League broadcasts. You got 358 modified, 7 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Eastern. You got big block modifieds, thanks to RSN Trackside, Catalytic Recovery. Then 9:30 Eastern, we've got the Down and Dirty Outlaw Speed Wrench Pro Late Models live from Lernerville Speedway. That will wrap up Ultimate Dirt TV. But of course, back live once again with the Northwest Racing Association. It's the NWRA Northwest Racing Association Pure Stocks, the street stocks. In attendance, they will be headed to the Knoxville Raceway for the Iowa State Nationals, 40 laps on tap, 10 o'clock Eastern, live with Joe White once again at OSR Network or OSRN, whatever you may do. So make sure you support Northwest Racing Association. They race Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night, both, all 4 nights broadcasted, 2 on Ultimate Dirt TV, 2 on OSR Network. But for now, and here at round number 2 at Lanier National Speedway, the Plumwild podcast second round of the season is done. As we say farewell and good night from Lanier National Speedway, congratulations to your winner, Cruz Cordell.